Hello and welcome back for Game 2, FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. Before we jump into that game, however, League's newest addition to the Darkstar line was designed with the help of Cho'Gath fan Brian, who visited Riot last year through our partnership with the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Brian's wish of making a kick-ass skin for his favorite champ wouldn't have been possible without the support of great non-profit organizations like Make-A-Wish. So, Riot partnered with Global Giving to donate 100% of revenue from Darkstar Cho'Gath to over 20 regional non-profits around the world. Darkstar Cho'Gath is only available until August 10th, so pick up yours now to support a non-profit in your region. For more information on the fundraising around the skin and the charities being supported, check out the article over at leagueoflegends.com. And Zyrene, it is a sweet skin. Yeah, it is a sweet skin, and I can't remember the last time we had a skin that actually goes away after a certain period of time, so I'm definitely hopping on that one. Yep, get it while it's good. As we jump into the matchup, let's take a look at our starting lineup. Selecting blue side, it is FlyQuest. In the top lane, Flame. In the jungle, Santorin. In mid, Keane. Bot, WILDTURTLE, his support JayJ, and their coach, St. Vicious. And that means going up against them on the red side, it's Team Liquid. In the top lane, Impact, Xmithie in the jungle, Pobelter mid, bot Doublelift with support Olleh and coach Keane. And Team Liquid, they do maintain first place after barely inking out a win over Optic Gaming. Yeah, they ended up having a really, really rough time. I mean, it's a new look for the Team Liquid, which is what we do want to see from them, right? Unsurprisingly, it didn't look as clean as their standard player, what they seem to be used to. Pobelter was on Smite Taliyah, and Xmithie went back to his ward bot roots. Remember, he loved things like Tracker's Knife and being a vision-centric jungler, so he started playing the River Shen alongside him, getting the Sightstone, having the wards to place down later, and they did win that game. But the proactivity with that type of composition was missing. When you're running the Taliyah, the Shen, that's really, it's not a funnel. That's why I don't want to call it funnel Taliyah, because I don't really feel like you're funneling her or have synergies with her as a Shen. The whole idea is you have semi-global or global ultimates that when you hit 6, you roam to side lanes. And Taliyah is all about shove, fast jungle clear, side lane pressure. And they didn't do that as much as I would thought they would do with that type of composition. So if they run something similar today, that's what I want to see is side lane pressure from this team. Their opponent, FlyQuest, were also short on early tempo yesterday as they did fall to Cloud9. Yeah, FlyQuest actually came out with a pretty solid draft, in my opinion, but they couldn't grab hold of any advantage and were outmatched pretty much across the map. Their score lines were very negative, but I want to watch Santorin and what he does in this game in response to what Team Liquid brings out, because Santorin yesterday, his lanes are dying left and right. He doesn't have a lot of traction in the mid lane, and so it's hard to get off the ground as a jungler when you're losing lanes in the map. So the pressure's on him, but if you run something like a Smite mid laner, there's way more pressure on the enemy jungler to react appropriately, which means he'll have to play to the side lanes of Flame or WILDTURTLE and JayJ, or if he's going to have to focus down that mid lane, which seriously, Keane didn't have that great of a performance yesterday on the Galio, despite being up against a almost full magic damage composition. I believe it was a 4 AP team. Yeah, it's like 4 AP and a Pike, basically, was the team comp. So, again, I think certainly FlyQuest, despite having a lot of good fundamentals and showing solid improvement in the last few weeks, it did feel like yesterday they were a little outclassed, and I think against a team like Team Liquid, you're maybe even expecting that to increase. So, I think a tough matchup here. But FlyQuest have shown a lot as a team. They've talked a lot about building their culture and kind of building up this team over time. We'll see if that's enough to get an upset victory over Team Liquid. We already started the day with one. We'll see if another first-place team goes tumbling down. Yeah, and I mean, if Team Liquid win this, though, they're in sole possession of first place. They can't be caught by TSM or by 100 Thieves, and so they're in a really good position afterwards, making it so that they would be 2 games ahead of some of the teams that are like pretty much right behind them. I think there'd be just 100 Thieves 1 game back, and then potentially TSM 1 game back. You're now asking me to do maths on it, so I'm not going to touch that. Basically, it would give them a good buffer, is what I'm saying, yes, if TL win this one. And it's one that you would assume on paper that they would win, because FlyQuest just haven't been able to find what really works for them yet. And the only teams that have taken down Team Liquid were Clutch and Golden Guardians, which have shown they have a lot of upset potential in the past. We've seen Golden Guardians with the blue shell against TL. We've seen Clutch Gaming take down teams like TSM. FlyQuest, they've beaten CLG, Golden Guardians, and Optic, but they've lost to Fox, TSM, 100 Thieves, Cloud9. It's very difficult, even historically, for FlyQuest to get these upset wins over teams that are higher than them in the standings. Yeah, they were on a small streak, but it kind of lost a bit of that momentum. As an update, we are going through some technical issues on stage, looking to get those resolved ASAP and jump into the game. So thank you for your continued patience as we work through it. We'll keep looking at this matchup, though, because I think it is interesting just to pose the question, What are we expecting out of draft from these two teams? I think FlyQuest have been a great reactive drafting team. They smashed a funnel in, I think, their last week performance. They kind of understand a lot about how to play, and I think we are seeing Liquid, when they stray from the path, it doesn't look as good, but they're trying to pick up wins. So for them, do they just take the win and take possession of first, or do they maybe have something a bit different? Is Doublelift going to revisit Vladimir, and maybe Team Liquid try to hand it that sort of strategy again?
It's funny because it was a Xayah for him in the very first game of the split, and people were like, why is he playing standard? What's going on? Marksmen are dead. Then the next game he plays Vladimir, and it's like, why are you playing Vladimir? You're 1-3. You're inting. I don't know what's going on.
You're a marksman player. Why are you playing Major?
And then he just played Kai'Sa, Xayah, like Jhin, Ezreal all the way through. From there, so he basically said, all right, you know, you guys are right. I'm a marksman player. I'm gonna just stick with this. I'm gonna chill with this.
Yeah, there aren't very many players that have actually not strayed to the dark side from the bot lane, actually. I think Stixxay is one of the few, perhaps the bastion in the NLCS of true marksman there in the bot side. He is marksman only so far. It's just kind of funny to think about. I think Sven even, yeah, he did it. That's why he did it yesterday. He played Hammer. I was like, it's over. He's playing Heimerdinger.
It's funny because everybody has one, right? Like Doublelift has the Vladimir game, Sven has the Heimerdinger from yesterday, and I believe Stixxay has an Aurelia game.
Oh, does he?
Just a single Aurelia game.
That ruins everything.
Yeah.
I'm so upset.
Yeah,
all right, well.
That's all right. That's all right. But it's like, no, there's nobody who's just strictly been a marksman, right? The dark side is very tempting.
You can tell how good it was because I clearly remember the Aurelia game from Stixxay. However, what we do work through this, you are going to throw it over on back to the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, Julian. Yes, we are here to talk about the games that have been, the games that could be today. Of course, you talked about Golden Guardians about 20 minutes ago.
Upset.
Upset win. You almost called it,
Why didn't you predict it, Jet?
For the last half an hour, you're like, I wish I called the upset.
I was like, upset alert. I'm
not
not picking it, but upset. And then it happened.
That's
bad.
okay. We wanted to bring out a segment we had prepared for the beginning of the show after Jat talked about the combos on Vladimir and how deceptively difficult they can be. We actually had a Vladimir tier list prepared to go, so I want to bring that back, not deny you of this. These are performances, not necessarily players. You can see like Ryu and Alltech are here twice.
Yeah, there are 8 Vladimir games. We ranked them with the grading system. We had no S's. We decided not arbitrarily. It's a
no S's in school.
Yeah,
this is school.
Interestingly enough, you can see Alltech coming in with vastly different performances from the first time to the second time I played Vladimir. And there's a lot that goes into this. It's how you play Vladimir in the laning phase, how you position in team fights, and also if you're executing your combos cleanly, because it takes a good number of games to be able to get all those things correct.
Yeah, and you talked a lot about that laning phase. That is where a lot of the early Vladimir performances ran into trouble. Doublelift and Alltech being Cody-san being two guys who ran into some big trouble with their level 1s.
Yeah. Favoritism, though. Doublelift above Cody-san. Why? When they both fed at level 1.
Well, so both died level 1, but after that, Cody-san was actually able to find some kills later on into the game.
Yeah.
But after that laning phase, didn't really do that much. He played him like a marksman.
Yeah, that was kind of about the positioning in team fights. Cody-san was often staying about 550 units away from people as Vladimir, so pretty much the only time he'd get his E damage off is if he flashed, rather than just being close to him and using your W as a threat if they try and close on you. That's what a lot of the good Vladimirs do.
Yeah, of course, you saw right there the clips of both them dying very early into the game, Doublelift learning Tides of Blood and not actually pushing the lane at all. Cody-san is like not respecting the fact that level 1 Vlad is like 490 health or whatever.
Yeah, and in Doublelift's game, after that happened, his whole team was getting rolled, and he actually played Vladimir mechanically fine from there, but they were so far behind, and Vladimir being an even or ahead champion at the best, he wasn't able to do anything, whereas Cody-san was in a position to make bigger team fight plays happen.
Yeah, and as you move into some of the other Vladimir plays, it's more about the comboing and team fighting and how sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I know Alltech had a huge oopsie in one of his early Vladimir moves where he actually flashed in, popped his E and Zhonya's and didn't do any of the combo. And then we have some of the fights from people, like here's the Alltech one where you can see he's coming in, he wants to do the full combo, which is the R, E, Q, W, but he just actually presses the Zhonya's, which is clearly a misclick, doesn't even get his ultimate off while they're diving, and could have easily turned that around. The rest of the game he actually did okay, that's why he wasn't last. And here's the fight in a different game where he actually plays it really well. You can see he's managing his empowered Q quite well. He charges his E as he's going into the pool right after the ultimate, so all the damage is amplified by 10%, gets his empowered Q on the amplified target, and just cleans up the fight.
And that's on top of having good laning phases. For the most part, Vladimir pretty weak and more focused on sustaining until 6 when you start hitting your item and level power spikes, then you can go all in. And so both games, Alltech's laning phase was fine. It was just the difference between his first Vladimir game having that horrible flub. And then he actually played some other fights well that game. And then the second game was just all clean Vladimir play.
Yeah, and also with the Vladimir, he's moved into the bottom lane recently. So the build and style is different. You don't level as much, so you're building the one-shot items like Oblivion Orb and Death Cap, and it's all about that bomb combo. But still, the mid laners play him better. That's why on our list of best Vladimir performances, we have Ryu in second and third. So both time he's played him, he's been successful, and this was pretty much the most successful move for as TSM's trying to take the Baron. He just full combos people in the pit and then still makes it outside of the pit to get to the squishies. Look at the ground you can actually cover as an experienced Vladimir. Charges up his E while his Q is still going, so he's making sure to make use of all of his cooldowns as they're coming up.
And that's really what Vladimir plays about, having a nose for those flanks and how to get onto backline. You are not a backline player. You're much more like an assassin who has a lot of survivability tools, and you want to one-shot people or at very least do big AoE damage.
And hey, that matters for drafting as well. You talk about Vladimir's more of an assassin than a backline tool. It's very easy to get yourself in a hole where you're like, yes, we're going to draft our bot laner last. We need our consistent teamfight damage output, and we drafted an assassin. Okay, maybe mistakes there. Want to give you all a quick update of what's going on. About 4 minutes to go still. Santorin apparently having computer issues. That's getting swapped out, and that's about our ETA till Champ Select comes back in, and we'll send it back to the casters. So let's actually move. Unless you have more you want to talk about with the Vladimir and the Vladimir players, we can talk about this FlyQuest versus Team Liquid game. FlyQuest surprised me yesterday because with JayJ in the roster, they had 1-2 straight. Technically, they had a 3-game winning streak, but that was like kind of a throw against Optics, so I kind of overlook it a little bit. But FlyQuest were on an uptick right there, 3-3 record. And they lost a game that I feel like on paper they maybe shouldn't have.
Yeah, I agree with that. They definitely dove much too aggressively. There are a few what seem like basic things that they miss out on from game to game. We were highly critical of their build paths.
Yeah.
They were up against a pretty much 100% magic damage team, and they were building Stoneplate with the Chain Vest first, and they were working on Azonia's Hourglass when they didn't have MR items on their mid lane Galio. So those were some of the problems in that game, on top of seeming to actually press a little bit too hard, which they hadn't done during their 3-game winning streak.
Yeah, it was one of those games where if you're up against an all magic damage team comp without consistent DPS threat, then if you go late game, usually that's when you're like, all right, come 3 or 4 items, we'll have 2 MR items and they'll have 4 damage items.
They at least went 5 Merc Treads, I believe.
Yeah, they got the Merc Treads down, but they could have tried to play that game a lot slower. They have double marksman and all this stuff, and there is a time where Turtle gets caught out on the top side, and rather than being like, all right, that sucks, let Turtle die, they Galio ult in, they TP in, they come in at different times, they lose 4 or 3 people, whatever it was, and then the Baron, and then as much as we were critical of not just the builds for FlyQuest, we were very critical of the comp from C9 as well, where they keep drafting these very low threat team comps. And if you keep getting good leads like C9 seems to do, I guess you can just actually win those games.
Yeah, and also staying on the topic of FlyQuest, they have Meteos on FlyQuest now.
Right, on
so
reserve,
this guy, Santorin, who unfortunately is having some computer issues on stage, has been playing very well, which is why we're not seeing Meteos now. But that's just another thing that FlyQuest could potentially do down the road. We know they've already swapped in and out their support in the bottom. Quan has been swatched out for JayJ, who they really like his shot calling.
Yeah.
And Meteos is a guy with a lot of experience. So it's a testament to Santorin and how well he's playing that he's still starting for this roster in lieu of Meteos.
And that's going to be kind of something to watch for, absolutely, is just, does that change over time? I know we talked a little bit yesterday about at what point do you actually lock in your roster? Maybe around week 6 or 7, do you just stop and say, look, the experiment needs to stop. We need to settle on something, get the reps in, and go from there. So maybe a couple weeks left in the year to figure out what they want to be doing. But of course, yes, for now it's Santorin. I do want to move towards Team Liquid, though. Yeah. Of course, as you can see, Olleh up on your screen right now. Another unsurprising somewhat surprising team, right? Kind of a couple of trip-ups at Rift Rivals, and not, honestly, to me, the most impressive game yesterday either.
Yeah, but you still look at the standings, and if they win this game against FlyQuest, they're alone in first.
Yeah.
Because 100 Thieves, who they were tied with at the start of the day, lost as JayJ takes a quick break.
Keeping the brain warm.
Yeah,
it's the most important muscle in the body.
Brain warmer.
Warm up your brain.
As far as TL, though, they pulled out the Smite mid yesterday with Talia Shen, which was relatively ineffective.
River Shen?
Right. Like, later in the game, they had the Sice Stones, and they were able to win late game through their savvy. And they still haven't gone back to a mage bottom lane since that week 1 loss to Golden Guardians. So I'm really curious to see how much Team Liquid experiments versus continuing to refine what they know? Because clearly there is still some experimentation happening. From what I know, Doublelift is still practicing the alternate play styles bottom lane like the Vladimir, and they're clearly still experimenting in the mid of the jungle.
All right, well, it looks like we actually have the players ready to go on stage. Sorry, Mark, you got caught up in the fact that the players are ready to go, so casters and Champ Select, take it away.
Thank you, Freak, as we're going to kick ourselves into draft for Team Liquid versus FlyQuest. Alrighty, let's see what happens here.
The Aatrox ban from Team Liquid, bringing that over from the Rift Rivals, making sure it doesn't show up here. And it's funny because players had a lot of time to chat with each other in the pregame lobby. Impact threw down a little bit towards Flame and said, top need 1v2.
Yeah, he's worried.
And then when it was like, hello? He was like, no, it's just because Flame is so good.
Yeah.
It's like, we got to 1v2 him, right?
Gotta make sure you know how to cover your tracks. There's Chantelia, the bans there from FlyQuest. They're going to take away the option Team Liquid used in mid yesterday. Nocturne joining Aatrox as everyone's favorite compulsory red side band.
Yep, and
Zoe also, I think, a very good band on this side.
Yeah. Zoe, Heimerdinger, things that you would potentially see over here. Talon's interesting because I don't think it's
Kindred.
like super good blind pick first pick.
That's fair.
Right? You could pick it like red side third pick, and it could be very potent there. But I think like Zoe's kind of like the go-to if you think they're going to play it, especially with the bans that have come through already.
I think both these players are pretty well practiced on that champion as well. I think neither Keane or Pobelter really strike me as talent players, but of course I'm sure they're more than capable of playing it. Instead it is Swain that gets banned, who is also quite strong, but we didn't see it last draft. And there is Zoe, first picked here by FlyQuest. Pretty expected, so we'll see what the response is from Team Liquid.
Well, the Yasuo was played into it last game. The Zoe got off the ground very early with the first blood, so Mickey was able to take over the game. But now with Keane piloting it, it means you know that they aren't going to be running a funnel strategy. Team Liquid can pick anything they really want here. Braum, Kai'Sa, you could pick Yasuo.
Yep, I think Yasuo is kind of the pick that's replaced Aurelia in this matchup. When she was stronger after the nerfs, Aurelia was pretty good into Zoe for similar reasons. I think Yasuo just kind of slotting in there now that Aurelia has fallen down a little.
That's a really good point because your win wall will stop the bubble. So once you get in on her, it's really hard for her to peel off and she doesn't have a true escape. And then for Aurelia, it was kind of you can just W and try to get through the bubble extra damage with just holding it and having the damage reduction.
Yep, mobility helps as well because Zoe is kind of tricky to pin down at times. Like this pick though from Liquid, Xmithie back to Kindred, something he is extremely well known for.
Yeah, go back to mid-season invitational CLG when he kind of taught a lot of people in the world that you can Kindred ulti objectives. And I remember players at that tournament, high level, the top from their regions, going, I didn't know you could do that. And then picking it up for later on in the tournament because of it.
Certainly a good one, but like this response here from Santorin, he's going to go with Gragas in the jungle, I assume.
Yep.
And Mundo there for Flame in the top side, most likely.
Yeah, Gragas is a flex pick, can go top or jungle, but with the Mundo lock-in, it will be most likely in the jungle there. And it came back because he got a buff to his W, the Drunken Rage, which makes it so that its cooldown is 5 seconds at all ranks. It used to go down from 8 to 4, and you maxed it later on. It wasn't the first, sometimes not even the second max that you went for. And it got increased range on that basic attack, which was one of the big kind of pain points for Gragas, was having the W where you have to charge it. And if they walk away from you during that time, you have to keep walking at them and try to, sometimes they're out of range. So having that extra basic attack modifier and the extra range brings Gragas back in.
Yep, and there's Darius as a counter pick to Mundo, seen this a few times now, but has enough pressure to try and execute Mundo despite how unkillable he does get.
And I think Executioner's calling first item has become kind of the Darius versus Mundo meta, where people are not getting it after level 6. They're getting it as their first item on Darius just to get it out of the way and just beat the matchup. It's almost like when people go Ninja Tabis on tanks to deal with matchups that are very physical damage heavy. It's like going Ninja Tabis versus Trindamere, right? You aren't increasing your damage because you're decreasing his damage. So in this case, you want to decrease his healing, which increases your damage relative to his in terms of how much you're going to be doing to his health bar.
We'll see kind of how the rest of the phases move out. Timecatch Pike, 2 supports banned by Team Liquid, trying to secure that bot lane. FlyQuest also aiming there as Heimerdinger and Morgana will get banned away. Never thought I would see Heimerdinger banned away from Doublelift, but this is the world we're currently living in of Liquid look to pick here in Phase 2.
Doublelift does this thing where he's like, I don't think this champion is good. Like in the lounge, week 1, I don't think Lucian is good. It's like, what? Then he started picking up Lucian again. It's like, you throwing people off your set? What are you trying to do? do interviews where you say this champion isn't good and you pull it out when they don't expect it. But looks like FlyQuest don't want a fast one pulled on them at all. They're saying, nope, even though Doublelift said he doesn't think Heimer's very strong, he's going to go ahead and ban it away here.
Well, there's Alistar, presumably in support, so I wonder what Liquid's last pick here, and they probably need a mage, given how much AD they currently have, so we might get something here. I mean, Kai'Sa and Varus are both AP marksmen you can have here. Looks like Turtle is maybe thinking a similar thing, wanting to take away Varus here.
I didn't dislike a lot of his hovers there. Like, Jinx is actually not awful.
Yeah.
She is very bad into things like the Alistar, but I don't think the Varus is that much better. But Jinx has a really good 2-item power spike now. She's not in this game, but just throw that off to the wayside and save it for a day where it is.
Well, we'll see what the last pick is here. Olleh gonna have some fun with his lane mate.
They need magic damage.
I mean, they do. They absolutely do.
Is this the D-tier Vladimir whipping it out to try and redeem himself? Get that tier list ready.
Olleh was giggling, so I was like, there's no way he's just
all right,
messing around. But
actually
going to play.
I want to see that tier list at the end of this with a new Doublelift Vladimir slapped on it. Where is he at? Because that D wants to redeem himself, to retake the course.
All right, well, certainly the first time he showed off this pick, it did not look so great. So we'll see if he can indeed redeem himself here. Turtle on a more traditional marksman. I have to think he's going a crit build instead of, or something AD based, right? Because can you afford to do the Nash's Rage Blade build here on Varus still? Given how many magic damage shells do you have?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so. I think just the Rage Blade Nashers and all of that is really, really powerful. So his kit is primarily, even if you go crit build, his percent HP stuff is magic damage. So you can't really avoid it that much. So I do think it's a good pickup here. They have some good basic attack modifier people so that Braum is very good alongside. Also, Rage Blade alongside Braum means that you actually stack his passive faster.
Yep.
With the Rage Blade too.
Seen that a lot with likes of Kai'Sa, with Lucian, plenty of those champions. I guess he doesn't build a Rage Blade. That would be kind of weird. Kog'Maw, that was the one I was thinking
But you got me thinking about it, where Lucian could technically, with a Q and one attack, get a Braum passive fully stacked. So
do have a dear old friend who currently casts the LPL who loves AP Lucian. Rusty, I don't think it's ever going to happen on stage, mate. I'm very sorry. We'll refocus though here. FlyQuest versus Team Liquid. As Team Liquid looking to have a better performance than yesterday and pick up yet another win and take possession of first place. FlyQuest looking for the big upset. And to even out their weekend will be a nice way to finish things off despite the loss yesterday.
Yeah, for FlyQuest, really want to see how they bounce back from yesterday's game where they got decimated across the map. There was really nothing they could do about it except just have people play safer, build smarter, and kind of change. You know, I said there's nothing they can do about it. You know, there's everything they could do about it. How about that? They'll change it up a little bit. They had the game kind of from the draft phase, and it should have been something that they could win. And so FlyQuest here, it's really kind of proving that they can take down top teams. They've lost to Fox, TSM, 100 Thieves, and Cloud9. They've beaten teams that are around/below them in the standings, but they haven't really upset anybody. And when I think of FlyQuest, I don't think of those high moments where Clutch Gaming and even Golden Guardians have had. It's not characteristic of FlyQuest. They kind of play at a consistent level where the teams that end up being above them will beat them. The teams below them are the ones that they'll be able to take the wins off.
Yep, so we'll see if we can take that consistency, all those learnings, and into a victory here versus Liquid.
Vladimir with Coin. I actually have no knowledge on this. At all. I know that last time it was, I think it was double Relic Shield for them last time when they played this matchup. So interesting. It gives movement speed. It gives cooldown reduction. It gives them a little bit of passive gold generation. But pretty much nothing in terms of combat stats.
We'll find that in a moment, as looks like trying to chase some people out of the jungle. Turtle, though, also being chased down. Lethal Tempo does proc, so he has that keystone this time around. So it looks like Santorin will safely start his red buff here. So kind of a late invade attempt there by Team Liquid, but no jungle taken away and no kills, unfortunately, for them. You can see Keane hanging out in the mid lane. He'll get things pushing, and definitely eyes here on Doublelift to see how he can do, you know, round 2, chapter 2, perhaps, with this Vladimir.
And this was the same picks here for both Doublelift and Olleh. terms of they had the Alistar and the Vladimir, seeing it as it was a combo. The phase rush for Doublelift too. We've seen kind of Vladimir's be all over the place. Electrocute, Predator yesterday for Ryu. And the phase rush here for kind of a consistent source of having that that quickness in the fights, able to access the backline, but it's not on demand. You have to actually hit your spells. But hold on, speaking of on demand, Xmithie, level 2, going mid towards Keane, but Santorin's here too in the fog.
Yep, Pobelter looking for the knockup, does actually land it, but Santorin already here, so Team Liquid gonna do the smart thing and just walk away. No need to overplay that spot. Looks like though Santorin may be thinking about an invade here, gets a ward down, does see the Raptors, but maybe he doesn't fancy a fight right now. Headbutt though from Olleh. Santorin walks all the way topside.
Yeah, but hey, remember they said you're gonna have to 1v2 top lane. Was Impact right? Looks like he was right.
Maybe. Does spin the axe around. Santorin gets a knock-up though. Still holding on to the fight. Impact, I think, knows he's dead already.
Got a
Red
barrel.
buff applied, still going down. Santorin needs a little bit more. There's the W flash cleaver and first blood to Santorin.
Santorin gets the level 2 gank off. They knew he was on the top side of the map because they saw him when he tried to gank middle or counter gank mid. And Xmithie went off to the bottom side, so he knew there was no way this was countered. But Santorin's gonna go into the jungle. It's a level 3 for Xmithie.
He's got double buffs too, I think. Maybe jungling. Oh, Santorin might get some really bad news here.
Yeah.
If he body slams into the ground,
Wait.
it's going to be a tragedy. All right, gets over the wall instead.
Yeah, he played that absolutely right, where he was waiting for Xmithie to show himself, and he saw the Impact TP'd back and started running towards the blue buff. So Impact was kind of securing that this was going to go over to Xmithie. So what gets traded here is Santorin trades his flash on this, and this is your Acer Predator replay, where he flashes, but then, oh, Olleh, dead!
Nice snipe from Turtle. No time to revisit the first blood because FlyQuest getting it done there in the 2v2.
Yeah, they actually get the kill. This time it's not Doublelift that dies, it's Olleh that dies very early on in the game. And we had to see what happens in that trade there, because I would assume that Olleh ends up getting caught just by a Q from JayJ, and then I don't think he's respecting the damage output. Potentially gets stunned very early, flashes and the Ignite plus the finishing touch here. So let's see this one more time. This is your Acer Predator replay. For real this time. Yeah, walks up, face checks, gets hit once, hit twice, finished off, and then WILDTURTLE gets the hail of arrows. The flash, yeah. Too late, face checked it. And that's one where there's no reason to face check it. If he's there, ouch. If he's not there, I don't know what you gain in that situation. I don't think he's going to take a back timer that early either. That just seemed like it was too aggressive, especially when your jungler is on the top side of the map stealing the blue buff away. So there's no way he could ever help you.
Yeah, Xmithie did do a pretty good job taking some jungle on the other side. Olleh actually roaming with him right now. Trying to give him a little bit of extra coverage as Olleh going to take down that Scry's Bloom as well. Xmithie also claims this crab on the right side. I believe he got both thanks to Santorin's very aggressive level 2 gank there in the top lane. And also Flame TPing back here to the top side. Impact is burnt his already, getting back with pretty meager assortment of items there. Flame feeling a bit more comfortable with a quick ninja tabai here.
I always love watching this matchup between these two former LCK players. I guess OGN back in the day. OGN champions for Flame. Love me some CJ Antis Blaze back in the day, too. That was actually my favorite team back then. Season 3. Love it.
And Flame's a good player. Played in a lot of different regions, but in LPL, now of course playing in LCS. Certainly has kind of restored a lot of that former glory and diversified. He would not be playing Mundo 4 years ago as Irene.
That's true, and I don't think Impact would have been playing Darius.
Times have changed.
He did play a lot of Jax, it's true. That things like Jax Shed, but I didn't think it would be the Darius. But I think both these guys have shown pretty much a lot of improvement across their careers, where Impact has diversified, gone for a lot of those aggressive champions, lane-dominant champions, and Flame has become more of a team player over time. These guys were kind of night and day in terms of differences that they had back when they were in Korea, where Impact was kind of the stable player who would sometimes go towards mid, give resources away to FLICKR, and also just be a split pusher, whereas Flame, he was pretty much just give me everything. Rotate, get the lanes, get the farm, the Flame Horizon, named after him, with 100 CS up early on in the lane phase.
Well, it's a little up for Impact, but not quite 100 just yet. Sitting at just above 10. Xmithie is going to pay a visit mid lane. Pobelter ready with the last breath. Win wall Q. I think he was maybe trying to bait something out there.
Yeah, he's trying to hide the animation.
Yep.
So if you win wall Q, you hide the animation of your Steel Tempest just slightly, so it's a little harder to read.
So don't fall asleep when you're trying to knock them up and do some fancy moves. So kind of all comes together nicely, but Keane stays calm, doesn't need to burn a summoner, just jukes out of the way of the tornado, and everything is a-okay. Checking back here with his bot side though, Doublelift does have a pretty early need to see large rods, seen a lot of Spellbinder here for Vlad, but this doesn't take away how tricky this 2v2 has been as Turtle.
That was a little wide.
Bit of an airball there on the Varus ulti, but
Yep.
still the pressure there in the 2v2 for FlyQuest.
Yeah, they have pressure, but with that ultimate down, it means that there's potential for a counter, where now that Doublelift has his ultimate, as soon as Olleh has his, and I don't know when his flash is back up. Hex Flash doesn't give me information, so we'll see.
I know he has Hex Flash, Irene. Yeah. That much I can tell you. Is Impact does get a nice trade there onto Flame, but Flame holding on pretty well, not falling too far behind. Impact, though, going to go looking. Covering Xmithie as he takes yet another Scuttle Crab here in this game. You can see already 6-6. Santorin is a bit behind in XP, though. There's a TP back down here from WILDTURTLE. Might get himself killed. Doublelift already going to start it off. Gets the ulti down, running through with a bit of extra speed as Flame caught out. Ooh, good watch. Impact not going to get the dunk, but cancels out the Blasco, and Santorin manages to cover him. And Flame just flashes towards into the waiting safe arms of his teammates, and now Keane lands a bubble. Oh no, Impact, why did you flash? Santorin gets the kill. Xmithie just plops down the Kindred ult, and now he's dead as well. That was so tragic for Team Liquid.
So that was so well played from Flame. He uses the stopwatch at the perfect moment. He's about to get dunked. They hit the blast cone so he can't get it afterwards. And then the big thing that in that fight afterwards is Xmithie has 2 stacks of his Kindred E on him. The final auto attack comes through and it wears off as it's in the air. The execute may have been enough there to finish off Flame if it actually landed, but it was just barely out of range.
Well,
We'll
the
see that
Shakespearean comedy of errors, but well played nonetheless.
Yeah.
Here for
So,
FlyQuest.
Flame pops the ultimate, the dunk comes through. See how he's fully stacked with the gold rings around him? He's gonna flash away. That attack is not empowered for the execute because it wears off because of the hourglass, because of the stopwatch there, and they get to turn it around by milliseconds. Whoa. And Xmithie blows the ultimate too. He's not in range. Could have maybe flash ulti, but at that point, he blows his flash, he blows his ulti. 2 kills go over to Santorin, 3-0, and has the Runic Echoes completed now. And this is what we were saying when we were watching Santorin to upset these lanes early. He gets there in time, Flame is able to outplay, and he opens up the opportunity for his team.
He was feeling the early pressure as well from Xmithie, so credit kind of find that back there with some good gank timing, some good team play here. Olleh getting stunned, he's too far forward, I think's the problem. There's the problem by JayJ! WILDTURTLE, another 2v2 kill down onto the cow.
In what world is Doublelift going to be able to help him? I'm very unsure, because Doublelift is back there going, I'm actually last hitting under turret. He doesn't have the Crimson Rush going on him. He doesn't have the Qs ready to go. But look at this, Impact, no flash. Here comes the revisit gank. Santorin's there way before Xmithie. See if they kill him.
Already gets a body slam down, that's enough damage, gets the party keg. And takes down Impact with the execute off the ulti. Now the turret also looking a little low. Doublelift gonna have to try and save it. JayJ again tanking forward. They're gonna try and grab it now. They're gonna look to the Vlad. Here's Olleh. Maybe this is a bit of an overplay here for FlyQuest. JayJ, no! There's actually the kill for Turtle. Pops the watch. Olleh is trying to get a counter kill desperately. Oh my god! He hit the creep! He got the heal! And FlyQuest, they'll get the double kill!
That was so well played mechanically. JayJ comes up huge. He gets the Relic Shield to save himself. Mark Olleh, and then put him in the ground with WILDTURTLE.
4-0 for Turtle as well. He has half as many kills as his team totally does here.
Yeah, it's 4-0 for Turtle. It's 4-0 for Santorin. And you were right, Pastry. It's the Blade of the Ruined King. It's the extra physical damage coming out here. The sustain in the late phase versus the Vladimir is going to come up huge. But they get the first turret. They get all of these kills focused on people who can actually use them for early damage. Let's see this one more time. This right here, I don't know what's going on. Doublelift gets Crimson Rush. He uses it on the minion. He doesn't have it for damage here. Olleh goes forward. Doublelift is still last hitting minions. You're going to get stunned. You're going to get the Braum passive on you. He blows the ultimate super late. He's already ignited. He's already going to die. And I have no idea in what world Doublelift can actually help him. He has no ultimate there. He's not going to flash forward for that. He's already blown the Q. And as soon as he does that, you have to back out. And then here, Impact, this is just one where even though he has 2 control wards to set him up, he has 1 in the Tri-Brush, 1 in the river. Those aren't deep enough to see what's going on when you're slowed by those cleavers. And then this.
A gutsy call here for FlyQuest to stay for that turret.
Yeah, the commitment, the great flash, point blank Q, Doublelift too slow on the flash return, gets killed by WILDTURTLE there, who now has the lethal tempo up, just throwing arrows into Olleh. That was so good. The turn tip hit the caster minion. JayJ, that was really smooth. That's where you know, you're like, damn, that guy's a support main. What the heck?
And now blue buff steal. Team Liquid is starting to lose everything on this map. Xmithie almost going to get put to sleep. He burns the ult. He's already stunned. I don't think he can get out of this. He goes drowsy, and Keane is able to grab the kill.
We are on the cusp of FlyQuest having a perfect game versus the first place Team Liquid. FlyQuest yesterday, everything went awful for them. They got smashed by Cloud9 in almost every lane, and it felt like there was nothing they could do. They are doing that to Team Liquid right now.
Yep, JayJ zones off Pobelter, forced to burn the wind wall on an incoming Q. Total stays, takes down the turret with the help of the Rift Herald that Santorin got from the advantages that FlyQuest have accrued already through this game. And look at that gold lead. We're at 5,000 up for Fly at 13 minutes into the game. There might even be a second turret here with the Rift Herald charge.
I think so, and that means that impact coming down. Olleh! Yep, there's a Hex Flash to try and get engaged, try to zone them off. I mean, it'll help them a bit, but impacts come down from the top lane. The rotation from Santorin is to look towards the top lane now.
It's always funny with that, because like, you're like, oh, it's just the Hex Flash, he didn't waste his flash. Then you realize the only way you can use Hex Flash is when you don't have your real flash. So it's never really that good news. This Flame, unfortunately for him, cannot finish off the turret in the top side. Impact makes it up in time to protect it for now, but it is almost no health left as Team Liquid go back, spend what gold they have managed to scrap off the ground at the mercy of FlyQuest early game right now.
Exactly, and even with these things going their way, where Impact looked like he was having a really good lane versus Flame up in CS. The CS has been pretty much equalized off those 3 deaths from Impact. He got an early Executioner's Calling to try and deal with Flame. It's going to weaken his overall power against everyone else in the game, but it'll make him effective in the 1v1. But the 1v1 is already decided. It's already won by Flame in the fact that he got 1v2'd on the side of Impact. So you lost both your side lanes. Pobelter's kind of the one person who's sitting here with, sitting in the chair. This is fine. Everything's burning down around him. But he's going to have to become the carry later. And that's what the Alistar's for, the Alistar Yasuo combo, to potentially get a team fight. But this is going to be really rough for all of them. I want to say, like, I'm going to go through the checklist right now. This sucks for Doublelift and Olleh. They're behind in the lane. Olleh hasn't been able to get pretty much anything here, and it's fed WILDTURTLE. And then for Impact, having 1v1 pressure, he has way less pressure now. And then Xmithie, Kindred, this is the worst possible situation to be in as Kindred. You've lost your outer turrets. You're never going to get those marks. He has 1 mark right now, and struggling to get a second one here. It would have to come off of a kill, but they have 0 kills. He hasn't been able to get anything on this Kindred. 15 minutes in, single mark, doesn't have that extra range, which is so pivotal to get the first 4 marks. Once you have those, it makes it so it's much easier to get your E. But look at this, Olleh caught again. Oh, no.
Yeah, meanwhile, the assault continues here for FlyQuest again. They're going to burn him through the ulti. Olleh just dead to Turtle, who's dishing out too much damage. They also picked up the first Drake of the game and grabbed the Cloud. Now looking to siege down this tier 2.
Yeah, when you have no threat because you pulverize the ground, slam it in anger, and then, oh, you're just going to get picked up there. That's another one where they catch Olleh, and his flash just comes off of cooldown.
Team Liquid waving goodbye to their turrets as FlyQuest take another one here in the bot side. Keane getting annoying, trying to portal jump and throw Battle Stars through the jungle. Impact looking for the first kill. Scoreboard time for Dunk Master Darius. Not yet. FlyQuest taking a tier 2 here in mid. Gonna let Flame just hang out as his team takes the rest of the map.
Yeah, Flame just kind of holding strong in the top lane, making sure that he doesn't give anything over to Impact. So we've seen what Darius can do. Darshan yesterday will remind you of what he did to Huni, where he just dominated that lane, dominated the entire game afterwards. And a fed Darius is very hard to deal with. Even Darshan in his post-game interview was saying, yeah, I got like 1 or 2 kills early, and the game was decided from there. Like, the game was pretty easy from there. And that's how Darius is. Get him ahead, and then he's able to snowball, but at that even point, struggles to really affect team fights.
Well, looks like FlyQuest do want to take out that top lane outer turret, so they're moving their dual lane there. Now Turtle with 2 items already finished at 16.5 minutes as he's grabbed the Hurricane. Should be easy enough to take down this turret.
And you were absolutely right, Pastry. I gotta apologize. He went for the, I guess, on-hit build. Wonder if there's a Rage Blade in there later.
Hope so. I'm a big Rage Blade fan. It's fun. He has lethal tempo. Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
But I think FlyQuest can talk about builds as I have been hit or miss sometimes, but we just talk about the quality of play they've shown. Impact recalling in a silly spot, tagged again by this combo. Santorin, JayJ picking everybody off the rift. Oh no, maybe a little too far forward. Gonna try and go. JayJ jumps forward back to Santorin, but he's now caught. Liquid looking for the first kill. Kindred already down. Doublelift. He finds a flash and gets the kill. It will not be a perfect game, but still FlyQuest chasing in. Doublelift into the stasis. He's gonna go down to Flame. Now Fly still chasing. Flame flash forward. There's a great glacial fissure. Tags Xmithie with no ult. He will fall to Keane.
And that's still FlyQuest. You know, okay, Team Liquid don't get a perfect game. 1 kill on the board, but 12-1. They have a 7,000 gold advantage for themselves. They just got another turret. They got that last outer. They might get Pobelter here. It'll be hard to actually get this Yasuo.
Flame is just looking for a few more cleavers.
Nice
Doesn't
shot.
land the next one, so Pobelter will get himself out safely. Still, turret over to FlyQuest as they're working on the top tier 2 as well.
TP from Doublelift to flank here. Doesn't have the ultimate, doesn't have flash. This is going to be so risky. He's not spotted by a minion wave. They don't know he's flanking just yet. They're going to see him right now.
Another aggressive dive for FlyQuest. Could cost them. Doublelift, though, already taking so much damage. Flame is here pretty much perfectly in time, and now Doublelift just has to juke out of the remaining skill shots. Does do so, so he will live. But Turtle and JayJ just Houdini out of that one. Kind of a testament to how much pressure and how far ahead FlyQuest are right now.
Yeah, and right here, they spot the recall. They try to lock up Impact, and it's interesting because Xmithie has ultimate here, but he like never blows it. It's like, oh, what are they gonna do? They don't stun Impact, they don't proc the contested blows, and then Doublelift flashes to get the kill there, and then goes over, stopwatches, and Flame is just doing so much now. This Mundo, inevitability is that you come online, you really want to kind of stop that or slow it down, delay it as much as possible, and have the Darius snowball, and maybe not even see the Mundo get to this point. But now he's got so much armor. He's got 3 armor items in his inventory, or sorry, 2 armor items. He's got a lot of HP to boot, and that HP is pretty effective against AP because they're all mostly burst. So against this composition, I really like the idea of building armor first, then HP on top of that. So he's very, very tanky. He's hard to deal with. Team Liquid now have this behemoth in the top lane they have to worry about, and then all this other damage is coming from this fed WILDTURTLE Varus.
And the tough thing is, Team Liquid are already losing every other lane. So now with Impact just not being as relevant potentially in his 1v1, with Flame now getting gifted over the advantage of the side lane pressure, FlyQuest can continue to do what they're doing, and that's run amok in Team Liquid's half of the map. Olleh about to get blown up. Keane had a free ignite. No! You gotta click him! Ah! They still got the turret though, so a small tragedy.
I mean, I guess he let him have that one. You gotta be nice every now and then.
Olleh has certainly had a struggle so far this game, so perhaps some mercy there from Keane.
Yeah, he's had a big struggle this game. 0-4. And WILDTURTLE, on the other hand, it's been a fantastic game for him. 5-0-3. This is actually the most kills he's had in a single game so far this split. His next highest was Lucian, where he had a 4-1-5 game. But we were at, I guess, 17, 18 minutes in, and he had already hit 5. So this is looking like, so far, WILDTURTLE's best game of the split on a marksman. In a meta where people are like, oh, you play Yasuo, you play Swain bottom. There's WILDTURTLE meta. Seems like just sticking to some of these marksmen and actually beating Doublelift and Olleh in the 2-on-2 is the formula they went for, and it's worked so far.
Ooh, FlyQuest actually finally going to get caught here. They're going to try and finish the Baron. Xmithie can maybe do it again. They need to buy some time, but no, Santorin able to smite that down. Still Impact in the front line is going to die. Another kill goes as Olleh in the pit will fall as well. FlyQuest, a really good Baron call there, knowing how far ahead they were, knowing the pressure they had. And they picked that one up pretty cleanly.
The Baron goes over, the kills go over, and they're still not really in threat of losing turrets, losing objectives. They can reset, get the Ocean Drake, finish the top lane wave with the Mundo. And so FlyQuest, they're in a prime spot, 10k gold up, 21 minutes in, to end this in the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Could have yet another fast game on our hands. FlyQuest have been, again, really good together. Seem to know what to do in these moments. So you have to think that well practiced in closing out this sort of game. For Team Liquid, it's, you know, what can they show us? With a comp that just isn't something that we've been used to seeing. Liquid can win just about any game when they're playing their game, but once again, Doublelift Vladimir, not something I would expect him to be able to carry on. If he was on something like Lucian, sure. He's won unwinnable looking games before with that champion, but once again, when Team Liquid deviate from their path, and again, I think they should be trying something, but it just does not look as good.
don't get me wrong, like Vladimir can carry these games, but he's not in a position to do so. He's behind. And Olleh is blah. Whoa. All right.
It's not, can he? Would you expect Doublelift Vladimir to? And the answer, from what we've seen so far,
His in
is
particular.
no. Yes.
We have not seen the signs that indicate that.
You know, give him 50 more games on the champion, maybe it would be something different. And it's not solely his fault that this game has gone as wrong as it is. FlyQuest have played so well to get to this point. They escort 2 minions in. They take 2 inhibs almost simultaneously in under 23 minutes. And yep, Flame picking up the slack. Gonna get that wave pushing there as well. Okay.
WILDTURTLE's like, I want the farm. This is when you fight your teammates for the farm. It's like, no, just mine.
He is known for aggressive summoner spell usage,
That's
so
true.
an aggressive macro TP from Turtle.
Wait, somebody cut the wave. Come on.
No, instead it's 2 cannons being brought into bear with the turret in range. FlyQuest just have to be pretty patient here.
Impact on the side. I think he's going to try to flank. There's the TP from Doublelift. They're going to go for a counterattack now. Doublelift not able to enter the fight just yet. They're not able to find the one they want. I think his home guard is worn off now.
Really
Flame is just zoning it.
Yeah, I like the flank checking there from Flame. Just kind of walking up and saying, where are you? Olleh caught again, burns the ult, gets a good pulverize, the last breath, maybe gonna combo on in, but Turtle flashes out, and that's gonna be game. Team Liquid are going to be routed in their base. Xmithie is the only striker left alive as he's picked off
And
right at the end.
And you saw the idea behind the combo, the full wombo there from TL, but they get 1 kill this game. It's almost a complete perfect game, and that's all they can really walk away from this saying is at least it wasn't a perfect one, because FlyQuest stomped TL.
A single blemish on the record, but FlyQuest raise Golden Guardians upset by 1 minute as they smash Team Liquid to finish with a win this weekend.
23 minutes and 52 seconds, and 19-1 in the scoreline.
FlyQuest OP, man.
They were able to, I mean, it's funny too, because Impact even called the 1v2 top lane in the pregame lobby. And then it was like, actually, you know what? That sounds like a great idea, Impact. Let's take that strategy. They smash him in the top lane. He ends up with 5 deaths, and simultaneously, Olleh 0-6-1 this game, destroyed in the bottom lane. And this is a lane that's supposed to be known. The players are known for wanting the 2v2. We saw them, even just yesterday, do well in a 2v2. The Jhin, the Tahm Kench, making sure that they're able to weather the storm of things like the Heimerdinger and the Fiddlesticks. And now we see them drop when they try to attempt to play the mages again. It's 2 losses on the Vladimir, and there's 3 losses for Team Liquid total in the split.
Yep, they were asked to rise to the challenge of playing a team like Team Liquid, and they do complete the upset and push Team Liquid down a peg. They will not claim first.
They'll still be tied. Not
They
full
will.
possession, though.
Still there, but would have been nice to sit atop. Instead, FlyQuest right the ship, making a surge, and potentially this team can find a bit more consistency. This is a team that could rocket through the standings in these next few weeks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And FlyQuest, they're 4-4. Team Liquid are 5-3. It's literally just 1 game back, where if they're able to pick up another win, and that's why the standings are so tight and so close. But also at the same time, I want to say, if you're a Cloud9 fan, when the standings stay in this area where everybody's kind of beating each other, you're happy. Because it means you get to lose more games potentially when the roster's trying to recover. And so you're ending up going, well, if first place is only 4 wins ahead of us, or 3 wins ahead of us now, then that's a really good sign, because all you have to do is have a good week when somebody has a bad week, and you start slipping yourself right up there in the standings.
And I think for FlyQuest, the thing that really impressed me this game is not just that they all played well as a team. Yep. That's something I'm now coming to expect from FlyQuest. But everyone, when faced with an opponent that is, I think, pretty easily to argue better than them, all stepped up and won basically every single lane.
Yeah, and I think that Flame is somebody that you definitely have to give a big shout out to. Domination in the top lane, Santorin able to play alongside him, and you're seeing why these guys have that type of synergy, and why you're going, man, they should maybe play to Flame a little more often.
Maybe. Well, to get more about that win, we're going to send it down to Olleh and the victorious Rebel Rouser in the jungle.
Thanks, guys. Santorin destroying Team Liquid. What does it mean for FlyQuest to take down a first-place team, and how did you guys make it look so easy?
It means a lot, because I think yesterday we should have won. Saint has been really good at outdrafting. I feel like every single draft feels a lot better for us. So it's just the team. We're still a new team. We're still learning how to play together. I think we need to be better at using scrims properly. So I think we're not learning as fast as we should. So winning against Liquid means a lot to us.
Now, I want to ask you about your play, because we saw you on Gragas today, and you've been playing a big role in all of the wins that FlyQuest has been picking up. What do you think of your own performance so far?
I think Saint gave me a wake-up call after week 1 and 2. I played really, really bad. I had like a 6 months off season, and I think he really helped me like focus on what I had to improve on and what I should do for the team, how to impact the game. And I think since Saint helped me, it feels like I'm actually like doing work for my team, which is really enjoyable.
So you mentioned Saints playing a big role in a lot of the success that FlyQuest is finding, but is there anything else that's helping you guys pick up all of these consistent wins?
I think our team atmosphere is really, really good. If we have a bad game or we have a bad draft or something like that, we always talk it out. We don't have people that are really frustrated with each other. We always like make sure that we keep on track. And I think just every single player really wants to win on this team, and everyone has really good attitudes.
Now, the recent big news was Meteos getting traded to FlyQuest. So I want to ask you, are you feeling any pressure, maybe trying to defend your position as a starter?
There's definitely a lot of pressure. I think Meteos is a great jungler, and I think anyone who has Meteos below him should be scared, no matter what jungler is like playing starting position. I think it's a weird situation because like I think Meteos does deserve a starting spot, so of course I'm a little scared.
Well, Santorin, thank you and congratulations again on your win. And for more on the game, let's hear from the State Farm Analyst Desk.
Thank you very much, Olleh. Look at the colors on this desk. I mean, what a win.
The 4th time this year we've had split. We've had it.
But I mean, it's kind of crazy though, because I mean, FlyQuest, right, had a pretty mediocre spring split. We just saw Golden Guardians win, had a mediocre spring split. A lot has been changing up in summer. FlyQuest off to a very good run recently. What, 4 wins in the last 5 games, I think it is now?
Yeah, and I really liked that interview because we got a lot of good information by Santorin. They were talking about the impact of Saint, how often they feel like they're out drafting their opponent. We were saying that yesterday felt that way, and even though they lost that game, it was like, wow, that draft was great. And then also the points about Meteos and how like he's such a good jungler, anyone in the league would be scared with him beneath them. And I thought there's just some really good insight about how well that team is functioning, because he said despite that, the environment's very nice.
Exactly, and I want to actually jump straight into the game from an early game play that I think was well played by Santorin, but also could have been taken advantage of by Team Liquid. So early on in the game, both junglers are generally going to trade sides of Scuttle Crab. So we know that Santorin is taking the top side Scuttle and Xmithie is taking the bottom side Scuttle. And right after the Scuttle Crab, it's not too uncommon to gank the pushed up mid laner, who is going to be Zoe. So right here, Team Liquid should know that Keane is going to move towards that Scuttle Crab because that's most likely where the jungle is. And what's super important is look at the minimap. Look at Impact's Darius. If he just continues to move down, knowing that Keane's going to move towards his jungle, it is a free 3 versus 2, which at the least gets flashes, probably gets you kills. But if we continue to roll this, it was Team Liquid not being on the same page. FlyQuest is. They're moving towards Santorin. He's there to block the 2v2 gank and just say hello. But then, not only did they not cut them off 3v2, they completely lose track of Santorin. Santorin just walks straight up through where the wards are, through the jungle. Impact is not respecting it because he has wards in the river, but no one is communicating. No one is communicating that Santorin went up. Impact isn't seeing it himself, and they give up first blood.
And this is such a disappointing play from Team Liquid because it went from pretty much a guaranteed flash if they're communicating to, oh, they're still not communicating first blood.
Huge swing.
Yeah.
It's probably a TL first blood if they just collapse with the pushed up Darius, and instead it's the other way.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually sort of incredible how little then Darius did. I mean, this is an obvious counter pick. I saw the first 3 versus first 3. I'm like, wow, they got Kindred and a sick mid lane kind of pick and a sick top lane kind of pick. What a great draft for Liquid, and none of it came forward.
Yeah, I mean, you also look at the bot lane where they have the Vladimir pick. I actually think Doublelift played it mostly fine, but for whatever reason, whether it's Olleh, him, or the entire team, they don't work when Doublelift is on the Vladimir pick. And the top side, communication issues caused them to lose up there. And then down in the bot lane, they were just getting blasted in the 2v2 while the rest of the map was falling apart. And so the great performance by JayJ, who subbed in here, was a huge factor in getting a lot of early kills down that bot side.
Yeah, I don't think you can quite blame Vladimir itself. Like, it happened to be a common trend here where now about half of Liquid's losses have Vladimir, but like, why do you walk into a Braum as a level 3 Alistar? Like, it's not like Vlad's gonna out-duel a Varus in the early game. Olleh literally kills himself here, does the same thing a couple seconds later. He's like consistently killing himself.
Yeah, and here, Doublelift doesn't have ultimate because they'd used it in a trade earlier. Then he's left trying to defend the turret. This was a bad play on Doublelift's part. Sure, they thought maybe they'd be able to turn it, but Pop goes to stopwatch. It was going very poorly for this team at the bottom lane. Can't even get the Braum.
Yeah, it was just, that's what we're saying. You know, top side was falling apart due to miscommunication. Bot side was getting outplayed in the 2v2, and there's that just super clean gold graph where Team Liquid kind of just rolls over and dies a little bit, and it's very scary that this is potentially our top North American team because this is a trend. This is exactly what the Splice game looked like.
Yeah, and this is, keep in mind, 1 kill away from a perfect game in 24 minutes. Liquid are the best team in NA. They won the spring split, and this either means FlyQuest got a lot better, and hey, to be fair, they did, but getting perfect gamed by a team that's now 4-4 means you have fallen far.
Yeah, and also when it breaks for Team Liquid, it breaks bad.
Yeah.
They lost in 22 minutes to Golden Guardians in week 1 as well. So now 2 of their 3 losses are in devastating fashion in the North American LCS. And I do agree with Santorin that St. Vicious' drafts have been good, and the culture of FlyQuest seems to be taking a turn for the better. So last split, we had those 3 teams down at the bottom that people were basically just picking up wins against in Golden Guardians and FlyQuest.
Yeah.
And
They're both
Team
4-4.
Liquid is showing you that those aren't free wins anymore. There go 2 of their losses.
I mean, both teams have made some roster moves, not just with the coaching staff stuff, but you had Mickey coming in. He's been working out very well the last couple of games, and JayJ has really stepped up, and he's just a great success story for the whole North American region. Collegiate player, goes into academy for a little bit, and then comes out as an LCS starter. And him and Turtle have been doing great in all their games.
Yeah, that's got to be really impressive for them. Those 2 have done amazingly. I mean, the one stat I wanted to bring up, by the way, is Doublelift is the only one who did more damage than literally any player on... sorry, I'll rephrase this. Everyone on Team Liquid aside from Doublelift did less damage than every single player on FlyQuest.
Yeah.
Darius did less damage than Braum.
But Darius and Yasuo were complete non-factors.
Yeah, they were getting smashed. And again, it's not like it's just Doublelift. It's mid lane's not doing much, top lane's not doing much. They're not coordinating very well. We'll see if Liquid can turn things around for next week. We are taking a breather, but after the break, TSM and Echo Fox butt heads in Game 3 of the day. Don't touch that browser.
Okay, they're taking damage from creeps. Oh, that guy's one shot. We can walk up.
Here.
Hey,
Look, Alistar's low.
Ollie. We can fight. Slow. Okay, back. I'm peeling Jason.
Nice.
Go, everybody.
Kindred. Good job, guys.
Fuck him.
And through top.
All right, I'm through top.
Nice.
Let's go.
The sub above difference is daily, not shredded last night or baked yesterday afternoon. Good ingredients, prepped fresh every day. Because that's what daily means. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.